Everybody, so I wanted to make this video here to show you guys how safe, per se, the percussion caps on the old black powder revolvers actually are, okay? At least the caps that I'm using. So I'm having an argument with somebody right now, and I've tested this years before. I've had friends test this. A guy on YouTube even made a detailed video putting his revolver in a vise so he can get a better impact on it with the tools and the hand palm that he used. And there was no way that the percussion caps got set off by smacking the back of the hammer with your palm. Even smacking it really hard, it just did not set it off. When you use a lightweight tool, that possibly could do it, maybe, but it has to be a solid object and something with mass, okay? Because, again, the caps require something really forceful, which is why the spring tension on there is forceful to move the hammer against the percussion cap. It requires a BAM impact, okay? The only way that those caps ever went off with me, my friend, the guy who did the video on YouTube, was when he took a rubber mallet, a big rubber mallet, and smacked the back of the hammer, then the caps went off. They did not go off when we used our palms or anything else other than something heavy and something solid. So the guy who's arguing with me right now is telling me he used a screwdriver to set off the caps on his revolver that had a weak spring. I don't know what kind of screwdriver he used. I don't know how heavy it was. I don't know the mass of it. But I have a screwdriver right here. It's just a fairly, regular average size screwdriver, a Phillips, smaller Phillips. I have some Winchester Magnum caps. These are really hot caps, and I want to prove a point here, okay? So let me flip this gun, let me flip the, I'm going to set it up against this flower pot since I don't have a tripod, okay? So again, I've already shown you guys, the gun has no percussion caps, it is unloaded, there's nothing in here. So let me put a couple caps on here, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to load these caps. There's one. We're going to do two. There's two, okay? I'm going to seat them right. So let's get to the cap. I'm going to push on it just so it's seated right. Get to the next cap. Push on it so it's seated right. And now we have two caps in here. I don't know if you can see that. There's one, and then there's two, okay? So now we're on one cap, you can see. So let's test this out. Gun's firmly held in my hand. I'm going to smack this thing with the palm of my hand. And this is going to hurt because that hammer is pretty curved up there, okay? So I'm going to smack this, karate chop it, and smack it. And I smacked it so hard, I'm almost bleeding right there. You can see the indentions in my hand, okay? That did not do anything. Now, let's test the screwdriver. Hitting it lightly. Hitting it really hard. It actually put marks in the screwdriver. I don't know if you can see that. But it didn't do jack shit. The only thing it's going to do is indent the cap. Now let me show you. Let me flip this around. You see how smushed that cap is? It's not going to go off. Even when I do this, okay? It requires full spring force, and that cap already popped out because it's so smushed. Where did that cap go? So, let me go back to the second cap over here. Nothing's happening. Let me smack this with my hand. Karate chop it. That fucking hurts. Indentions are in my fucking hand just to show you guys. My hand is actually shaking now from hitting it. Screwdriver. Who's the retard, okay? Flip it over here. Cap is heavily indented. Now let me get to that cylinder. Cocked. Bam. Requires full spring force to set off percussion caps. They do not set off when you smack them with your hand. They do not even set off when you smack it with a small screwdriver like this. It requires something with mass and a sudden impact on the back of the hammer or the full hammer spring force to set these caps off. This is why these guns, when the springs are weak, sometimes they don't even set off, because with a weak spring, it doesn't have enough force to hit the cap to set them off. That's why a lot of guns don't fire, misfire, for example. So I hope I proved my point to you guys. You can see the damage on my hand, and my hand is like shaking right now.